Okay, go ahead and introduce it, Beta, when it goes live.
Which is what we have done now. Now we're live. We have a false start here. Everything's going perfectly. Welcome to ETF2L Season 23, Week 5, in the matchup between nerdRage Gaming and Infused. I am Beta. Joining me in the casting chair is TurboTabs, and on the stream is Suyooo. How are you doing, TurboTabs? Are we good?
Yeah, just good. I was just loading TF2, and I have no idea whether or not we were going live at that very moment, so I did throw the reins to you, but well done, thank you. So, yes, this is week 5, so that means we're going to be playing a bit of Granary, just like last week, but we're going to also be playing a bit of Gully Wash, Peter.
Yeah, I really like Gully Wash. It's one of my favorite maps. Some people think it's a bit slow, but I disagree. I really like it. It's very different from a lot of the very open maps that we've seen in the earlier weeks. So now it's we have Granary, which is kind of open, but also has a bunch of Granary choke issues. Then we had in the early season we had like Sunshine and Snakewater, which is very open maps, and then Gully Wash is sort of the closed off, more close quarters map, and I do like that one more. That's just a personal opinion. But yeah, we have Infused going up against nerdRage, so they have a titanium task here, just trying to get a point. Actually, like, I'm expecting a roll, right? And we have some roster issues as well, but I will say, in Infused defense, they have gotten points in every single match they've played so far this season. Every single one of them, no matter who they played, including against Full Tilt.
Yeah, so it is quite an up-and-coming team. Maybe people have just been underestimating them slightly. Speaking of Infused, Beta, let's head over to Gentleman's John's wonderful stats. We can, bring up some pictures while we talk about Infused themselves. I'll see if I can open up the old report here. I'm not sure if you've got this already nice and loaded, but it should. I'm praying, crossing my fingers that it's worked.
Looks like it. I see Team Infused.
Oh, right. Okay, so Team Infused exactly is skeej on Medic, Adiski, I'm probably butchering that name, by the way, on Demoman. Tonight won't be quick. He is sadly got a fever, so he has to back out for this result. But I guess if there's any match you're going to not play, it's going to be the nerdRage game. Also not here tonight is Tiger, so yeah, we got Hank on Scout, as well as his ever-so partner Denier also playing Scout. The two mercs for tonight on those roam soldiers, though, the soldier classes should be Buttnose and SteveyJJ.
I actually see Sideshow on the server, so maybe Sideshow is playing instead of Buttnose.
Oh no, I think it was just he was left over from the previous scrim that nerdRage had.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Right, you are. Alright, it doesn't make too much of a difference, though. Like, losing 2 players is going to be absolutely devastating, especially on this map. Like, the soldiers have kind of been the deciding factor in all of the matches, I feel like. When the soldiers are not on, they do poorly, and when the soldiers play well, the team sort of follows suit. So, yeah, it's a pretty devastating loss, I think. I think that's going to make this match a lot more one-sided than it otherwise would have been, because Infused have been putting up a good fight. I thought Infused would be like the worst team at the beginning of the season, but so far they have sort of proven me wrong at the moment. They're not on last, at least, and they have had pretty good results. They've tied or lost in a golden cap in every single match they've played so far, and that's including against Full Tilt, which is on a currently technically first place in the rankings, right next to nerdRage. Well, yeah.
Speaking of nerdRage, let's head over to the nerdRage report as well, because I want to squeeze in as many reports as possible, because it looks like they might go live pretty soon, so hopefully the report should be loading roughly now. If you could just give me a quick roster rundown for me, Beta.
Sure. Permzilla on Medic, kaidus on Demo, Captain on Pocket, Drac on Roamer, Half-a-Cool and Stark on Scout. And Half-a-Cool plays sort of the Pocket Scout, while Stark is more of the flanking, sneaky guy. And Stark especially has been really impressing me this season. He's super annoying to play against. He seems to take like a lot of risks, and then it usually pays off because of a really good DM. He sort of reminds me a little bit of Clockwork in the playstyle he has. And then Half-a-Cool has just been super solid. You can see 9 deaths and 23 kills on average. It's monstrous. Katie and also a really good DPM on both scouts.
Whew, baby, look at that kill to death ratio on Hafikul. He's literally the top scout in not just the kill per death, but the kill per assist as well. But I guess, the two do go hand in hand. But also keep in mind the damage per minute. He's just behind the top spot, which is Starkey. So it's almost undoubtedly said that these are the two best scouts in Europe right now.
Yeah, for sure. And you can kind of see, if you look at this lineup, you can see Drak sort of having a pretty bad KD. But I think it stems a lot from the fact that they will send in both their soldiers, especially the roamer, and then everyone else just sort of follows in, and it's very organized. Very, very scary to deal with. And Drak gets the worst job there, just usually dying in the process, but then Hafikul will be able to just clean up, along with kaidus and Captain.
Yeah, it is the issues or the tropes that comes with the Roma class. I mean, if you just look at all the stats of all the other players, there's just so many first positions amongst nerdRage there that somebody has to do the sacrificial lamb role, and I guess Drak is that sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, he's been playing very well. Like all the games I've watched, he's been playing well. Some better than others. He's been a bit inconsistent, but overall been playing really well. And kaidus especially has been playing super well this season. Sometimes you can get the sense that kaidus might be a little bit too aggressive, or sort of runs in when he shouldn't, or just makes some dumb mistakes and misses a bunch. But I haven't seen that this season. He's been really solid. So I expect him to just keep up the good work, especially on Granary, which can be a good demo man map outside of mid.
Yeah, I was actually reading on the forums, Beta, over on teamfortress.tv, subtle plug, but there was almost a little debate about the demo man class in one of these drama-filled threads about what he could really do. But every time somebody was talking about that, they would always explicitly say, well, except for kaidus. Kaidus always just seems to do his thing and seems to be the diamond in the rough.
Yeah, there was this big sort of soul-searching going on when Demo Man got nerfed. And it sort of took a while, but it looks like Demo Man has once again sort of regained a bit of its old status. It just took a bit of, adjusting on their part to sort of get the right. And it's just not automatic anymore that Demo Man will top damage, but kaidus has actually been pulling it off most of the season. So I think that's pretty impressive. So we're getting ready to go live. Let's get some predictions. Do you have any hope on this map for Infused?
I'll throw out a quick prediction. Maybe I can quickly squeeze in a Saloon.tf report as well whilst throw out these things. I think last time I looked at it, it was like, whew, baby, it's 92%. I'm not sure if the Saloon.tf results are going to be null and void, what with the two mercs, but good God. That is pretty high, but I think
that's what I expected, and I think it's actually correct for once. But yeah, we're actually about to go live here. Yep, here we go. ETF2L Season 23, Week 5, nerdRage versus Infused, Map 1, Granary Pro, B10. Let's go to mid.
Alright, well, of course, it's Granary mid. I'm going to have to watch Big Kado, and let's see what he can contribute to this starting T5. He decides to go top as well as Adinsky for the starting measurements. He's decided to drop back down, pick up that health pack. Adinsky's just kind of delaying it for now. Here comes the first big bomb in, coming in from SteveyJJ. He does start off a kill, and what a start off it shall be. He took out Permzilla almost immediately. Skeej does go down as in the follow-up though, and now nerdRage are just trying to dissect what little players they have left over on this Infused squad.
Yeah, and it's 2 against 1, and it's 1 scout against 2. It's only Hafikul. This is very difficult for him. He actually gets a medkit. He's trying so hard. He actually gets hanged. That's a good job. But Infused takes the first mid, and that's sort of the thing with this mid. It doesn't really matter if you're the weaker team. You can always win mid on Granary because of the way your sort of view is obstructed all the time. Denia runs forward, actually gets found out, but Stark gets double meat shotted, and Denia tried to get a pick there, but gets taken down. But actually, SteveyJJ is in on the medic. Premiership takes quite a lot of damage here, but I think the demo's about to get picked off. Yeah, Adinsky overextending there in connector.
Yeah, SteveyJJ doesn't care though. He's still moving up ahead with his medic. His medic is actually, I think they're rocking the. No, it's just the medic gun for now. I was kind of hopeful there. Permzilla will kind of shave ahead with this Uber advantage, but I don't think they're going to play off it. I'm going to have way too much respect for each other. You do see Hank kind of sizing up combo of nerdRage over in the right lobby, but they just don't dare overextend. Buttnose does go down to Starkey there over on the flank, so they will win back the yard area, Beta.
Yeah, we'll see if they actually move on this this pick. It's usually very difficult to push into mid, but actually Captain looks like he wants to peek a bit, but he just takes a single look and just say, nope, not going to push this. So Buttnose going down to it, not going to have too much of an impact on the game. He's actually going to go spy, it looks like. Maybe he's just, no, he's not just checking Uber, he's actually gone spy, and he's on the lit transfer, which is a really good medigun, or spy gun, because it just allows you to be cloaked for almost forever. It's so good. Yeah, so here you go, he's going to try to sneak in. Blinded by kaidus.
Oh, wow, get destroyed. I guess that was just pure accidental,
yeah,
obviously,
sure.
But somebody just shot down kaidus' stickies. He just landed at Buttnose's feet. He obviously dead them because they seemed almost useless to him, but not quite useless. I managed to pick up Buttnose on the spy, and now he comes back as the soldier.
Poor guy, not going to try that again. Once again, it didn't have too much of sort of any consequence, because the nerdRage, they don't really want to push on this. I guess they just want to wait for the suicide and then try to sort of push forward and see if they can get a pick, and then if they get that pick they will push, but otherwise they'll just be content to sit back in yard and just spam forever. But we'll see. It's probably going to be Buttnose once again trying to do a suicide. He's really close to the entrance and kaidus sees him, so everyone should know what's going on here. And Primzilla is pretty far forward, so if Buttnose can get out of this door and jump, he'll be very close to the medic. Like, he has eyes on him too.
Every time somebody goes near that door, though, Infused just seems to get bammed back by some spam. So they just don't really find a window of opportunity. They're just kind of kicking back for now. I think they should have, Buttnose should have just came back as spy again. I mean, like, if somebody dies as spy in that situation, you don't expect him to pick up his pride and go back in again.
Very true. But come on, Buttnose, you have to live up to your Roamer role here. You have to just suicide forever and get the most terrible KD ever. Come on, he's actually just going to lag in here. He gets a nice jump there, actually gets a deny air shot there, I think, and eventually taken down by 2 scouts. Primzilla took a small 50 damage rocket, but no big deal. So he does eventually go in, and looks like nerdRage not even going to push a little bit. This is going to get pretty boring pretty fast.
Well, if I was in Infused shoes right now, if this match ends at 0-0, I would be pretty happy, Beta. You know, that's still one ETF2L point that you walk away with, and that's a lot more than you can say than other teams that have played against nerdRage.
I truly hope the 10-minute counter clock is not going to be a factor here. Oh, Stark is actually... He got bored. Wonderful. Thank you, Stark.
Right.
But actually, he's on the cloak and dagger, so this is going to be the slowest spy play ever, especially since he cloaks so early. Oh my god, this is going to take forever. But okay, let's see if we get another suicide from Buttnose in the meantime.
It looks like Infused actually they want to push of some sort over on this left hand side. They are trying to give them every single reason not to buy some time for that Stark spy, but you know, they're thinking about it. They really just want to force the issue here. Stark is sitting all the way back behind. He just wants to make sure he doesn't get heard by any of these scouts, because that invisibility watch does make an awfully loud noise, Beta, at least to these competitive players.
Indeed, he's got eye on a demo at the moment, and actually Hank goes down to captain. Please let that means something's going to happen. Actually, yeah, I think nerdRage is finally trying to move
oh
into
my god, I think Stark's been found out. The demo man Adinsky over on Infused did bump into him, shot a few stickies, thought it must have been him. He might he is kind of constantly looking behind, so there is a bit of paranoia set in there. Buttnose gets picked off as well. It looks like they might finally...
Stark has finally made his move. He goes back to his own team and gets taken down by a sticky trap. Oh my god, this game.
He was dedicated to the role of that scout there. He wanted to make sure that, no guys, I'm attacking with you. But no, it seems that the attacking ones will be infused. They're trying to barrel forward while Stark is down. They do pop off the Uber over onto Captain. He does force off skeej's Uber, but it looks like SteveyJJ wants to kind of rotate. Actually has no ammo, he gets out of the fight, so this Uber wasn't really used to its fullest potential, and they just tried to squeeze off the point.
Yeah, and there's just a spam fight for the point at the moment. I think Infused going to have to sort of rotate to left or just do anything to make any kind of dent here in nerdRage. Because
otherwise he's going for it. He's going right to the top of kaidus. He does take out the English demo man, and now the kind of scatter, the dust is settled. But Starkey is the one that draws the first firing shot. He's taking out everybody. Is he going to get Oh no, actually, Captain will get those last few kills, but big start, man.
Oh,
big
then he is hiding. He's been spotted by Captain, but he gets in some nice shot there. No, actually misses every single shot on on Permzilla. Too slippery. But yeah, that was a really good flank by Stark. If he had not come in at the time he did, it would have been a pretty easy for Infused to just sort of spam them out because they got the demo pick, and Demo Man is super powerful on second point. And Botnos is on Spy, so a lot of Spy plays so far. He might actually have been spotted. I'm not entirely sure.
He did get some damage like laid upon him, so I'd imagine he was revealed and he has to go back all the way back now. So they're effectively a person down right now. nerdRage are pushing out this left hand side yard to see, and they are getting it 4-3. They'll kind of decide where they want to push from next. It looks like they might want to push from this right side shutter door. Maybe see if how much they can get 4-3. They actually decide to just Uber straight in, and kaidus is the one taking the brunt of this Uber. Captain's coming in as well. They pick up the kill onto Adinsky, the demo man over on an Infused, and now they're going to see what other little picks they can find. They're trying to see if they can pick off Butnos, but Butnos just manages to survive on the tiniest shred of health. Even Hafikul supporting out his team there. Skeej does have his Uber though, and he wants to use it. He wants to use it on Hank. Hank is trying to barrel forward as well, but can't quite get on top of Scout. Stark still manages to weasel his way out. He just decides to get out on the back of this. He almost gets a back cap going, Starky, but Hank is going to shut that down. And look at all these bleeding players, everyone Infused. They're going to get cleaned up, and I think it's going to start getting a bit calmer now, Beta.
Yeah, it was a bit weird Uber. It was a single Scout Uber, and there were two players behind. Both Stark and
pushing in.
But now Captain's going to just jump in super aggressively. It's heavy on the pipe, though. That's so hard to deal with. And like so far, Infused have the high ground, and I think that's just going to force out nerdRage. But no, they want to keep fighting, and they're just going to pop this Uber. Gets the heavy down finally, and the medic is going to go down as well. Nice rocket by Captain. Captain's just cleaning up here, and just eventually manages to swing the fight in order of nerdRage. So what a slow first round, but eventually goes to nerdRage. So at least something happened. Let's hope we don't get too many bad spy plays.
That was very calm and collected coming out from nerdRage there. I thought for definite there was loads of times they would push into that midpoint from that second yard, but they just didn't take the bait. They just kept waiting until the perfect opportunity, and they managed to almost make a heartbreaker round out of it.
Yeah, kind of. They didn't get pushed back to last, but either way, kaidus is on the top here. Actually has shut out Adinsky completely here, and both soldiers take a lot of damage too. So kaidus has done a ton of damage so far. There's a high soldier in the skybox trying to chase down. Actually gets Permzilla. Nice job there by Botnos. But kaidus has actually jumped in super aggressively, and everyone has been pushed out from Infused. They're just going to retreat back to second. They did get Permzilla, but that's the only good thing, and actually Botnos gets taken down by some long-range scatterguns by Starky. Those mini-crits being pretty brutal there to him. It looks like they want to get second for free here, nerdRage. That's what they're trying to do. This can bite them in the ass really hard if if they mess it up. But it looks like they're going to get second. But I could see Infused pushing out and taking it again. I think some teams would, but looks like they're just content to just sit back. And Permzilla is building super fast. That looks like a crit creek. It is. So, yeah, this is going to be action-packed and a fast push. Good God. Oh, yeah. Look at the way Skeej is building. He's having people injure themselves against the fence, so he actually got it faster. That's the first time I've actually seen anyone abuse that. Arrow building. That's a new thing. And it's actually going to mean they have Uber advantage. They're just going to Uber straight in, gets one soldier. That's a bit weird Uber. And kaidus have popped the crits on the left side. That's why they pop. He gets one soldier, but that's about it. And Skeej does go down to Starky, so this could be a fight. I think nerdRage will just want to push in, even though it's even numbers and they're one down combat class. And Starky is in, gets the pick onto Hank. And now the rest of Infused or nerdRage will just come pushing in here. Denny is onto them super aggressively here, but now it's only Adinsky. Oh, he says nothing loaded. He's gonna get meleeed down by Halfcool. Yeah, despite Infused pulling out the EU gimmicks here, actually SteveyJJ jumps in too. It's not gonna be enough.
Wow. Well, I'm just thinking, and the amount of flack that Permzilla might have got from his team there, just like, why do they have Uber Perm? You've been counting these wrong. It's like, it's not my fault, honestly, but it kind of worked out in their favour there. When they were so, I guess, happy to have that Uber, they just wanted to go aggressive with it, but they overextended, got caught out, and it just allowed them to kind of farm those kills out and slowly push it back to last.
Yeah, the issue was, like, they spent their Uber on one soldier, basically, and the crits took down one soldier as well, so it was pretty even after that. But anyway, new mid, Botnos once again jumping super high and going actually behind lines, and he has been spotted. We have Hafical just sitting up on these crates trying to sort of shut anything down. Now he has spotted this soldier coming in from behind. He's gonna fight him. So Botnos still stuck behind. No picks so far yet. Super slow mid by both teams. Finally we get some waves here as everyone's just sort of collapsing onto mid. So far nerdRage is getting the better of this fight, and Botnos trying to jump, and everyone's so weak, and eventually only the medic remains. Skeej is on 95%. That's unfortunate, but well, I think it's actually a good thing he didn't get a saw there, because he would just be chased down slower.
Well, it looked like Infused wanted to change up their strategy on mid. They decided to go a lot more passive this mid, because last time they went aggressive, took out Permzilla, but this just gave nerdRage a reason to just go aggressive and then wipe them out on mid. And now this time they just got slowly trickled down and beaten over the head with the slow fight. And now they're pushing it into
onto that, but he has no rockets left, so he's going to be pretty useless. That's unfortunate, but. So let's see, and actually Havical's lagging out as well, so everything's going wrong here for nerdRage on this push, it seems. But they still manages to make it close. It's 2 against 3, but respawners will come in close. Kaidus is just going to stay in while Permzilla escapes, so a nice play there by nerdRage, really saving that. Really bad position, everything went wrong. Drak didn't have any rockets, but Hafical lagged out, and then they just slowly got whittled away.
Well, it's been a couple of minutes. It's time for another spy play beta. It wouldn't be this current game of Infuse and nerdRage if it wasn't a spy play like every other minute or so. Let's see if Stark has a lot more success this time. He doesn't manage to...
he's in a good position.
Yeah, he manages to uncloak without being spotted on the majority of it. I think... oh, he's actually popped off the Uber though, Skeej, already into this lobby area.
That's unfortunate. Gets taken down. So far 0% success rate for these spy plays, despite having seen 4 or 5 of them.
Well, Permzilla has his Uber though. He is being flanked by Hank though, but he was being flanked by Hank. He's been taken out by Captain with a stylish little direct into the by Captain, and
it's actually a soldier behind. Actually, that's gonna force Permzilla. He was 1 rocket away from dying, and then he drops Captain. So a really bad Uber here coming out, getting forced and then dropping your pocket.
Denny is behind as well. He just cleaned up the kill onto Stark, and Drak has to deal with this headache as well. But he does actually manage to outdo the Swede. It seems Skeej will have the benefit of about 50% on this Uber, and they're looking to build it in this yard area, ready for the next push. Let's see what sort of defense nerdRage can kind of put out here.
Yep, well, let's see. They definitely know they have this advantage. We see Permzilla holding really far back on the right side, which is interesting, and Kaidus is actually holding up top. So they're sort of holding it very unconventionally, and Infuse is taking their time here. They're not rushing it, and I think they should, because if they can get second for free, they could actually use the Uber onto last. But they're not that ambitious, I suppose. They're just sort of content to take second. But Permzilla is getting really close to Uber. Yeah, it looks like they don't want to use the Uber. That's a very weird play by Infuse. They knew they had this advantage, and they just wasted it, just because nerdRage held really far back. They held far back and spanned really well, but still, it's kind of disappointing. Wow. So another stalemate. I guess we're gonna see a suicide into a spy play.
Yeah, I don't know what they decide they're going to make do here. They're actually trying to go for the double soldier spam in the Z area, but it doesn't hold anything. But yeah, I don't know why they kind of... there's not many plays you can really make over on this left-hand... on Granary on this second point here. I guess you could faff about over in this like lunchbox area, but nobody's going to take the bait. Not a team like nerdRage, as Butkus is already being spammed out from that area. They're just kind of sitting back and letting the clock wind down. It is 14 minutes left on the clock, but they've already got a 2-0 lead, so they've got so much time... they've only got so much time to claw back that lead over on Infused, and they still can't quite come up with a plan.
Yeah, at some point they're gonna have to just push in, right? Like a single Demo Man Uber is pretty good on this second point because it's so hard to retreat, and Demo Man, it's really easy for him to hit basically in this enclosed area of second. Actually, they're just gonna take in a soldier from the right side. Goes in pretty early, but the Uber is still significantly worse. Actually, get Drak. That was Butnos on the flank getting him. So Skeej, if he can survive here, they're actually in a good position. They've lost both their soldiers, nerdRage, and they're just gonna get rushed down now. Kaidus gets rushed down, and only 2 up. Haviko is on 5 HP, gets taken down by Botnose. So a great Uber here coming out. They got that 1 pick off of the Uber, and their patience has paid off here, as only Drak is on last. He's fighting an entire team, gets piped and everything, double piped by Adiski, nice pipes. And it's 2-1, so Infused making a fight of it. That Uber was so good. Primzilla, I don't know if he dropped one, or if it was just on the flank. It was both the soldiers shooting at Drak there.
I think when Drak kind of got his, I guess, attention diverted for just a second, and that was all Botnose needed to kind of get these couple of rockets on top of him, and then from there the soldiers kind of lingered behind, made a massive cut through this the team, and Stark couldn't really enter the fight. Neither could Haviko. They were busy dealing with those soldiers. We're already onto our 4th mid though. Beta SteveyJJ is trying to find Drak, and he will find him as the first blood on this mid. Kaidus already wants to rally his troops out of this fight, it looks like, but Captain's going to be left behind, and it's going to be an Infused mid, Beta.
Yeah, this is surprising. They're putting up a really good fight. Ubers are completely even. Primzilla survived, but they still have a man advantage. So Infused will just push in here. They might just take the Uber in straight away. We'll see. They have a scout on the demo. Oh no, he dropped! Kaidus drops Skeej with a nice stickies there, and Primzilla's just going to pop his Uber in response to that, and they're going to take 2 quick picks there. But that was a really important drop. Botnose is behind. He fights a soldier. Both going to retreat. This is just going to waste Roma fight.
Yeah, he's just going to waste time in that lunchbox area, but they do send enough people in to deal with him. But they do have another player behind. Hank is already trying to backcap, but you've already got Drak, who's kind of trying to come back from the resupply. Even Stark comes back to deal with that scout. But Hank actually cleans up the kill onto Captain, but Drak, between Stark and Drak, 3 players are not enough for them to get that backcap.
Yeah, we'll see what the respawners, like how good are these respawners? Will Infused actually be able to contest mid? You could if you were brave, right, because you have a medic with you and everything, but they see the strength of nerdRage, and they're just going to retreat and hold yard. Primzilla once again building Uber faster. Is this a crits? No, it's not. He's just building faster at the moment. So we'll see. We actually see Skeej on the right side of yard with his combo. It's a bit of an unusual position to hold, right?
I can tell you why.
Goes in on the right side, which they are.
You've got the Denia.
Completely open.
You've got the Denia sniper though. That's what they want to do. They want to bait him into that sniper, but they already know this trick. It's the oldest trick in the book, Beta. So they're keeping tabs on that. They've already got stickies on that door, but Denia is still trying to peek and poke and see if he can get that pick. But it will be Botnose who gets that pick. Haviko goes down, and they're just deciding that it's way too hot. And in this situation, they're going to get out, retreat to mid, and just form another plan.
Yeah, I'm sort of liking Infused take on this so far. Like they're playing really tactically, which is not something you would expect out of a team using 2 mercs. Right? They did the weird gimmicky arrow Uber build, and actually Botnose is in onto Primzilla, gets 1 nice rocket, but that's it. All of nerdRage was just focusing on him there. But yeah, Infused, they've been playing really strategically, sort of holding right side, which is weird, and then baiting in the
Stark
middle.
has managed to bleed himself into this right-hand side, though. He almost gets taken out by the redirected fire, but it seems it's bought a lot of room for nerdRage to get in here. Drak kind of jumps up in the air. You actually see Denny has gone down from drop down. He's right on top of Primzilla. He's gone for the 2-shot, but can't quite get it, as he had to dedicate a 3rd shot, but Primzilla already popped off his Uber at that point. But hey, that's a forced Uber, Beta.
Yep, that's a very good play. It's sort of a classic one. It's pretty rare to see it in.
Oh, the drop! Again. The drop from Kaido onto Skeej. Oh no, that is absolute tatters now. They're just going to make a meal of this now, just from the heal advantage alone. You already see Drak is in the thick of it. He trades with SteveyJJ. You've also got Botnose in the back line. Oh, Botnose does get the kill onto Primzilla though, so that will kind of stunt this last push though, but they might be able to just go off player advantage as well, Beta.
Yeah, I sort of have this feeling that they won't, but you never know. Yeah, they're just going to peek their head out there and see the medic again. And it looks like they want to do the arrow building again, or maybe not. It looks like Adiski was trying to set it up. He just took some unnecessary damage there and got an arrow. But oh well. They have an Uber advantage sort of regardless of how they build, and I think they know about it. Actually, Stark on Sniper takes down Denia. That's probably going to prompt Denia to raid Sniper himself. But we'll see. That will actually slow down any push. Stark being very brave here, going very far forward, sees the demo and just gonna run away.
Tell me more about this arrow building, Beta. Is this, can you only really pull this off on Granary Last? Or actually, no, there's no time to talk about that. Infused, we've already pushed in with their Uber. Permzilla's still building. He's brought down to 25 HP, just manages to get back to the ramp rune area. And Skeej will get picked off by the Stark Sniper. And also, Adinsky will be killed by Captain as well. You see Infused trying to leak in from the other side, though, seeing if they can pick up a few kills. They do pick up Stark over on the Sniper, but there's just way too many nerdRage players to deal with now. Oh god, Hafikul depriving Captain of his airshot there, and
airshot denied, and actually Premiership is going to get forced to. That could probably force nerdRage to push on to last, whether they like it or not. They have a really big advantage and actually a scout already on the point, so they managed to cap it out just fine. Just remind me to go over the arrow building after this game. I think we won't have time. Maybe if we get into another stalemate, I'll go in.
nerdRage, please have mercy for the casters.
Yeah. Get us some spy plays so we can explain this arrow building, please.
We've hit our 5th middle, 7 minutes on the clock. Let's see if they can turn things around. There's still time, Beta. There's still time, I believe. I believe in the power of Buttnose and SteveyJJ. Let's see what they can get done. They're just kind of waiting about a mid so far. They're not really committing to anything. But finally, Buttnose has decided to commit himself. He doesn't lay out too much damage. Let's see if SteveyJJ can get a much better deal. He does actually get the start off for 2 minor kills. Adinsky's been brought down so low though, but will be brought back.
It's 4 against 4, and nerdRage is about to push in again.
Oh, it was 4 against 4, and now it's 4 against 3, and you can see now they're just really abusing this fact. Hafikul is going. He even picks up the health back as well. Kaidus with the Wonder Pipe onto Skeej. That's all the heals cut out. They can no longer play this fight as slowly as they are. Hank is trying to hide, seeing if he can catch out an aggressive Stark, but Stark is just too wise to the maneuver. And ooh, look at this little play by Adinsky.
Oh yeah, this is the play that never ever works, right? And if they spot you, you look so dumb because there's just no room to maneuver at all.
This is the low strat. Oh my god, Stark kind of looked then, he didn't see him.
Oh, Kaidus sees him though, and now he looks stupid. Yep, you just sit there and there's nothing you can do at all. There's actually a sorter behind too, that's Buttnose. He gets taken down as well. So just complete clowning about here. Premiership is pretty weak, so he might be forced to pop if they spam well enough. But it looks like he's just going to play really passively and plays it smart. And as nerdRage will just move in onto last straight away. There's one heavy that they have to deal with, but so far there's no pressure on them coming in. Now they're going to pop this Uber. This heavy, can he even get in spawn? Yeah, he does switch, so no kills so far. That could be a very important factor. Actually, Hafikul would be the first person to go down. Buttnose hits a nice air shot and a good follow-up rocket there. So a complete failed push here. Coming in from the Uber advantage off of nerdRage. Captain's the only one up. He's juking so hard around the pillar with his equalizer, but eventually gets sorted down there. But wow, yeah, that push was surprisingly unsuccessful. It was just everyone just managed to slither away, and they didn't get enough time onto the point. So a bit weird.
I think Permzilla just went a bit early with that Uber. I know they were kind of pushing towards the heavy, but they weren't taking any substantial damage. They could have maybe milked that just a little bit more, but you know, the past is the past. Drac is behind though, he's right on top of Skeej, can't quite get the air shot though, but everybody over on the views can. They've just bullet storm him out of the sky, and Skeej even throwing him a quick bind for his troubles. Stark will even get killed as well in the good spirit of his English compadre.
Yeah, Buttnose actually gets sticky trapped here by kaidus. So much pressure right now for Infused. They have one pick, but this obvious sticky trap here just slowing them down so much.
Where's this Uber Skeej? Come on, go, 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 move, move, move. SteveyJJ is glowing. He wants to get in there and get some frags, but can't quite land these rockets. And oh god, he is just trying to. Oh man, he's actually being pushed up in the air by the scout force alone. That was not good.
Yeah, like it was just kaidus had these like 5 stickies on the door, so it was just really interesting to see how that completely slowed everything down. It shouldn't have. There's one scout that was Denia just hiding around.
Oh, he's trying to back out. Oh, he actually gets cleaned up by Captain, who was hot on his tail there, and they're sitting about in this ramp room. I don't think that's wise, though. They do have to deal with an Uber, though, over on Permzilla, who's trying to not pop it for any reason right now. They might be able to even get onto this mid for free. because I don't really see much resistance. Oh,
actually, the medic goes down. Drag with a nice jump in here. Gets 2 kills before getting taken down, but that should be enough work already.
Oh, Hank is doing
Captain gets the last kill, and everyone else is now out of mid.
Yeah, Infused almost looked like they might have made a rough little comeback there, as Hank did clean up 2 overextended kills, kind of got the revenge kill onto Drac, and got a bonus start kill as well. Denny is hiding over on this left-hand side. I doubt these hiding spots will really work. He looks like he wants to go for the back cap, but I think Starkey will be respawning, and plus Drac as well. And he still hasn't been spotted though, so I guess they're really going to dedicate to this back cap. He's already started it now, but it's just such an easy trip for Drac to go back and deal with now. He's just going to play this out like it's a good old MGE game, but during all of that chaos though, Infused decided to push, and it's just left the combo in complete tatters. Permzilla's not healing anybody right now, but Skeej is, he's got a nice 20% advantage. It looks like
Diski's fighting a medic.
Permzilla, he gets the double slice onto Adinsky. He's going to get that Uber advantage back and then some. And now even Skeej goes down as well. Just when you think Infused are back into the game, they get taken right back out.
Yeah, that was a really important DM fight there. Who says medic DM doesn't matter? Great play there by Primzilla, completely turning it around on his own while getting chased down. There's a soldier. That was Denia in the drop down. Gets spotted. They're not going to fall out for that one twice. It worked the last time, but not this one.
It looked like Hank wanted to go for a little game of hide and seek there, but everyone's just not in the spirit for that. They call him back for this last defense, put him on heavy weapons guy, put him on sniper. I do like this. This will slow. Now Permzilla is forced off to use that Uber very early because of the fear of that sniper, but Hank will be minced. He doesn't have a chance to go back to the resupply like last time, but you see the fight slowly turning towards Infused. Can they keep it up though? They do hit some nice little directs here and there, and they will have the advantage of the spawn, and Denia has the advantage of the DM.
80 against 90. Oh my god, kaidus is almost winning this, but he has to move fast.
Oh.
It's so weak. Oh my god.
Denny is so scared though, he doesn't dare approach Kado, as he's just kind of playing his time, and there you go, there's the backup of Hank coming in just to pistol him down. They knew they had time on their side, and kaidus did not, so with 1 minute left on the in the game though, this is effectively trash time, Beta.
Yeah, but they want that last round, right? They want to carry the momentum into the next map, show that they are the best team in the league. They're not going to be bullied around. You see, once again, Skeej's doing this building with the arrows. If you build with the arrows, like this, off of players that are really hurt, you will actually build Uber much faster than if you build it using the Uber gun, or like just the medigun. And the scout bleeds to death. Oh. Poor Hank doesn't get saved. Oh man. Oh, that's sad. You didn't gimmick hard enough there. But yeah, you can build it in like 20 seconds instead of 40. So, you know. So
can you really pull this off on Granary? Is there any other maps that you could really think about doing this?
I think technically you can do it on everyone, but Granary is probably the most feasible, just because of the way it's like there's a really long sight line. And you don't have to have anyone close to the entrance at all.
Yeah.
Right. As we actually see the last point capped, I didn't even care. It is 4-1. Nice push there, good Uber. But yeah, like if you say on like Gollywash, right? If you want to have a long sideline on last, you actually have to have someone standing close to the entrance so people can just peek out and shoot one rocket and kill you very easily. Whereas on Granary, they're very far away. Same for Badlands. Badlands actually is a very small map, so that would be terrible on that map.
So, I know it's tied to basically the distance. You know, if you get a nice long-range heal, it will heal more, get more Uber, etc. But I guess Granary is the only, maybe Process as well, that strikes me as those last points with that long sight line that you can really abuse that factor.
Yeah, Process too, yeah, on the sort of the high ground there behind the point would be good too. And the thing is, like, you have to hurt yourself pretty badly, right? Because it gives Uber based off of how much you heal.
Oh, right, okay.
Right. So if I have 199 health on soldier, you will only heal me for 1, no matter how far away you are. Like your HUD might say that you heal me for 150, but you're actually healing me for 1. So it will give you Uber corresponding to that 1 heal, which is basically nothing. So you have to have to hurt yourself by 150 HP to build optimally, which already means that scouts can't do it. So you actually have to have soldiers getting sort of to 40 HP over and over again to sort of build optimally. So you can see how this could very easily lead to you running out of ammo, getting ambushed by the other team. So it's not always very feasible, but if you're desperate, try it out.
Well, we should have a quick glance at the logs. Almost be obliged to, but I do want to talk about that thing in future, though. It seems like just such a neat little gimmick, but I guess that's what it is, a gimmick after all. Once the shock value is gone, it might not be effective anymore, but no more talk about this crossbow shenanigans now. Let's get to the log.
Sure.
Alright.
I assume we have them on the stream now, so first things first, you always look at damage first, right? That's the important part. We see Captain, once again, putting out huge amount of damage. We saw, I think it was Josh on LEGO, having like a completely monstrous game. It looks like Pockets have been really having good results on this map this season, and kaidus as well, going 20 for 9 with high damage, almost 300 damage per minute, a little bit under his season average, but no big deal. It was a very slow map, so that's actually kind of impressive still.
Now, I am tempted to kind of poke at Infused here and say, like, their two mercs are the ones with the most damage on the team, but this is Granary, so it is kind of leaning towards the soldiers, so I'm not going to take that low-hanging fruit from them. But the thing that draws to my attention is Hafiko with 25 kills but only 8 deaths, so he's sitting on about a 4.4 kill assist death ratio. Very impressive from the
Icelandic scout, yep. He's very, very consistent with this. He sort of does it every single game, it looks like. And at some point you have to just be impressed with how good he is at playing his role. And, you know, you don't get that many kills and that few deaths without hitting a lot of shots. And even at DreamHack, I was sitting behind him and he was just completely beasting. So he's a very impressive scout. Might actually be the scout of the season. So far. So very impressive game by Hafiko, and it has been very impressive the last couple of games as well. It's almost not even worth noting just because it's how normal it has been this season.
Yeah, it's a real shame you've got a player like Stark in your team as well, who just seems to always take the limelight with those spy plays and all those getting behind, you know, shenanigans and whatnot. But
it's actually what the first thing I did actually when I opened these logs was to mouse over the spies to see 2 deaths in 2 minutes for Stark, and then Buttnose having 1 death in 1 minute, plus that one time where he had to walk all the way back to spawn. That one doesn't count in the logs, but that's 4 completely failed spy plays that did nothing except slow down the game.
I think this is what happens when you take the top of Prem, where they're so used to playing the snipers, and then you put them on a map like Granary. It's not really built for that sniper class, so what is there left? You have to play that spy, but not a lot of them get that practice in. It's not like maybe we need to pull in some Highlander mains or something.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay.
Actually, Adiski is a Highlander demo, I believe. So, sort of, that's where he came from. And you have a couple of people coming in from Highlander. I think Soix, the sort of famously Highlander roots from LEGO. Yeah, that Italian Soix guy is a really good player, and he came from Highlander. So it's pretty interesting. I love to see sort of.
Where's the kaidus spy? I know he played a season of Highlander as spy. I bet he's probably the best spy in his team, just from the sheer experience alone.
Yeah, they would never ever see it coming, right? Like, if he suicides in, they would be kind of weirded out, but it has been seen before.
Yeah,
I think I've been dropped like that before. And right, and then he just goes spy and completely catches them off guard.
Where is Kato?
Yeah, I think we can all agree that kaidus is throwing by not going spy. It's kind of annoying, actually. Poor play.
Yeah, they wouldn't have lost a round if he just bit the bullet and went spy for his team.
Yeah. Alright, one more thing I want to note in the logs is, of course, it says Skeej has 1 drop, but didn't he have 2? I could swear to God he had 2.
I was fairly certain it was 2, but maybe the first one didn't quite count as a drop?
Yeah. Wow, okay.
Well,
so,
mystery to me.
Oh well. But what I wanted to point out was actually that we see kaidus with the most heals on nerdRage, while on Infused it's sort of more standard with SteveyJJ.
That's to be expected, though. They were playing defensive quite a lot. Need I remind you that that starting round where the majority of it was just everybody staring at each other, kaidus setting up some traps and getting a pick here and there.
Yeah, and we see Happy getting 20% heals. I don't know how much of that is building, but I don't actually think it's that much, so that just shows how close to the combo he plays. And then you can just really clearly see in the heal stats who the Pocket Scout is. On Infused it's Hank with 16%, and then Denia is, let's say, Roaming Scout with 8%. And then Happy has 20% and Stark has 11%. So that's pretty interesting. And Drac gets no heal, no love.
Well, anyway, that was Process. That was Granary, excuse me. This is now Gullywash. What can you tell me about Gullywash, Peter?
Gullywash, as I said, is sort of much more close quarters. It's actually sort of surprisingly good for Sniper, even though it's a lot smaller and shorter than like maps like Snakewater and Sunshine, where Sniper is sort of predictably and very obviously good, but it's still also pretty good on Gullywash. Gullywash is a map you can slow down a lot, or you can be very fast on it. So it sort of allows for different playstyles, which is why I like it so much. And you have, I think, the midpoint is one of my favorite midpoints, maybe apart from, I don't know, Badlands. Other than that, I think mid-fight just offers so much variety in ways you can play it. And then just the way you can wrap around through second, and you can go behind, and it just really allows you to do a lot. So I think we'll see a pretty dynamic game here. As we go live on map 2, Gullywash, nerdRage won the first one. So let's go to mid. Let's see. We actually have a Denia running Sniper to mid already. It's sort of surprising.
Alright, the EU gimmicks are in full force here. They're putting all the world on Denia's shoulders. Let's see if he can deliver for his team. They're actually playing the medic near him as well. They're really laying on all the resources to kind of focus him down. Drac does get plucked from the air, but you see nerdRage have already gained so much space so far, but the soldiers are allowed to come back in and try and like pull back the rest of that mid. But you see nerdRage just managed to survive all that beta, and now
yeah, it's 2-on-3 right now, and there's people behind them. They know this. So like we just see Stark just completely juking them out and just really making them turn around all the time, and now they come in and just completely sandwiches Adiski, who was the last man alive on mid. Skeej is spawning first. He's gonna build Uber a little bit faster. And Denia is still on Sniper, so we have an Uber advantage coming up for Infused. It's very small. And as Stark actually already in through Choke. Like, the Choke is completely open. Denia is on Sniper, but he's not really scoping up so far.
Yeah, he's been forced out by Captain, who was kind of spamming him from that big
Oh my god, Drag is in on Skeej and hits 2 crisp rockets, just take him down immediately. So,
he even gets a kill onto Hank as well. Is he going to get another kill onto SteveyJJ? Oh, actually, have to call again to deprive that from him. And Stark is doing work in this lobby area as well. kaidus is going to help him out. And now it's just the poor lonely demo man for Infused Zadinsky on this last point. Can Drag get another kill as well? He's already spammed him out from this last area. Stark finishes that kill. It's going to be an absolute disaster for Infused on this first round. It's barely been 2 minutes, Beta, and there's already a round on the board.
Yeah, they gave them so much room. Infused seems to respect nerdRage way too much here. Like, they didn't even have eyes in Choke. Like that's how badly it was. Well, like, they had a Sniper and they didn't even manage to open the door. Like, you have to be a little bit more aggressive than that. And it just allowed Drac to go in there and hit every single rocket. Yeah, but he had so much room to do it.
Yeah, they put that Sniper away now. So I think we've got a pause here, Beta.
Yep, we do. I'm not sure what it was. I think SteveyJJ had like 200 ping on the other map at times, but I don't know what actually is causing this this pause.
And you know what would be a refreshing thing to see? I haven't seen Heavy on Gullywash for a long time, Beta. Do you think that's something that needs to come back? Do you ever remember the days where there used to be like the Heavy and Sniper meta?
Oh yeah, that was terrible. Oh my god, I hate Heavy so much. It's just the most boring, skillless class, right? Like the amount of damage and you can deal and soak up without using any sort of skill at all is just completely disgusting, and it just slows down the game and makes everything boring, right? Because it's just so one-dimensional of a class. So if they banned Heavy, I would be happy. Like it adds nothing to the game other than frustration and causing people to hold last point that they shouldn't otherwise be able to hold. So fuck that class.
Wow. Oh my! I didn't know you had such a bitter hatred for the class beta. But don't you ever worry that the team with the Uber is just going to always win if there wasn't a class like the heavy weapons guy in the game?
No, it's still Pyro. No, it adds nothing.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. It's an old wound. I haven't had a good heavy rant in a while. I hate that class so much.
Yeah, actually, I remember some of these heavy rants coming out from you. Maybe I shouldn't open this, I guess, this Pandora's box from, what, like 2009? This was...
Oh yeah. Like, the best part about getting better at TF2 is that you don't have to deal with heavies as much. Because as people get better, sort of, you know, because heavy doesn't really scale with skill, but the other classes do. So the better the players you play with, the less good heavy becomes, just because of the way it doesn't scale at all.
And plus that the focus fire of teams and whatnot, and the coordination is kind of the bane of the heavy as well. He hasn't got the ability to really dodge things, so if you've got a well-coordinated team, it's kind of bad luck for the heavy.
Yeah, I just sort of hate how, oh, heavy is easy to counter. You just have to all fucking focus him. Oh, right. What if you're not 5 people here? Wonderful. And yeah, just the way he can fire all the time. There's no, like, ammo management of any kind, right? You just, as soon as you see someone, you start shooting. And they have to either, like, shoot right away, and then when they get close, they have nothing loaded, or they have to wait. Anyway, let's talk about other stuff before Twitch chat riots over how much heavy is a bad class.
Alright, so what are the like the areas on Gully Wash that stick out to you, Beta? What are the signature things that you think about when you think Gully Wash? Is it about this last point, the fact that it's got this underground water area, almost like a flank directly to the last point? Or is it more about this middle and the fact that it's kind of got this thing called the nipple on there? Is that...
No, it's actually neither of those things. It's actually the connecting areas. Actually, on a lot of maps, sort of, you have a lot of good points, right? Like, the points are well designed. Like, take Metalworks, for instance, right? Like, mid is kind of fine, second is kind of fine, and then last is terrible, but sort of the connecting areas are... is the problem, right? You have these really enclosed areas and nobody knows how to... Like, there's not enough focus on designing well-made sort of connecting areas, and Gully Wash has good ones. And as we're finally going live, as we can stop talking about TurboTabs, let's go! We're around this mid-fight. It's actually, soldier jumps. It looks like nerdRage is really far back so far. One soldier's on the nibble, that's Captain. Oh my god, does so much damage!
Wow, Drag finds the perfect... rocket as he takes out 2 players, gets a huge amount of damage. That was a direct sent from heaven for the English soldier, and that just completely destroyed the entire mid-fight. I've never seen like one shot really turn the entire fate of a mid-fight like that. Good god.
Yeah, that was absolutely disgusting. I don't know how much damage that one rocket did, but I want to say 300 damage or something crazy, just because of all the people it hit. We'll see. Actually, nerdRage managed to take second here as well, and they do have Uber advantage as well, I believe. Yep, yeah. It's a little bit hard. My heart is broken, but here we go. They Uber in, and there's actually a sentry that they have to deal with. Gets it pretty fast. So far, no kills though. So okay, here they come finally. What? Even my heart is broken. Okay.
Well, it seems kaidus is still trying to kind of win back the rest of this round as the second little pushing from this Uber fight happens, as they are still trading kills here and there though, and the respawners will slowly come in for Infused, but I don't think they'll come in time though. Edinsky's fighting up against 2 scouts on this last point, and that's already said and done. That they get that ×4 on that last point, and it's another round on the board for nerdRage. It was looking quite well there for Infused, but I guess the class loadout they had wasn't prepared for that little Uber push in. They had Hank playing Pyro on that left hand side. He was practically useless for the first half of that fight, and that sentry gun was just not doing enough work because it was so hidden.
Yeah, it was all about that mid, so let's hope they do better on this one. kaidus is playing on the floor, so is Adiski. Looks like both teams are just sort of hanging back, playing it passively so far. Looks like Drak is going to be the first one to sort of take initiative here. Gets 2 nice rocket onto Buttnose, wins that fight, and Drak then gets taken down. But it looks like nerdRage actually has enough momentum here. Like they're all just bunched up here, just blobbing like crazy.
Oh, Stark is going huge though on this middle. He's getting so much dam in, and oh good god, the kills just follow as well. It seems the roles have been reversed. Kaidus is actually the cleanup crew, and Stark is the damage dealer, Peter.
Yeah, indeed. We actually see a 3k coming out from Half-a-Core, but just super good. Like everyone just sort of teamed up on nerdRage. They seem really in sync here on this map. As Botnose is actually on Spy, so will we see the first successful Spy play of this match? We'll see. Botnose is in a pretty good position here. He has to be careful not to get spotted by these soldiers. It looks like Stark is actually looking for a Spy, so they have him so figured out. They are both Brits, so maybe they played with each other quite a lot, and they know each other well enough to know what's going to go on.
If there's any sort of tradition in TF2, it's the late night Butnose double mixers on the server. He probably knows Butnose like the back of his hand, as Butnose has actually decided to go for the Kaidus kill. Kaidus does get the kill onto SteveyJJ though,
and he doesn't go back. He actually is still on Spy, and he's behind them in River now. But they've
already Ubered in. Yeah, they've already Ubered in. Drak is already on top of that heavy. He's taken that one player out. Half-a-Core has already spent the majority of that last push capping, and that has led to their third round. It has barely been 6 minutes, Peter, and it's already halfway through the game.
Yeah, so looks like my prediction of a much faster map has sort of come to fruition here. And I do like it. Let's hope Infused is able to sort of strike back here off of some good play on this mid. Botnose is behind in the drop down. He's been spotted by Kaidus, so nothing happens here. Actually, Stark is about to go down. Yeah, he goes down to underneath the point. So that's the first pick there. And both soldiers coming in now from Infused. They do a lot of damage, but they don't get a lot of kills. And now it's it's just a D-ski trying to make his way out alive. Actually, he's going to hide in a bush. Super secret hiding spot. There's no way this is gonna work, right? Like, Kaidus is right there. Yeah, no.
I like his dedication to look forward. It's like, I can't look the other way because my gun will stick out. So if I just look here long enough, maybe they won't see me. But
it's the second time he does this. Like, he did it on Granny as well, and Kaidus has made him look completely stupid both times.
I think that's just the freeze frame for like when the team has effectively given up in spirit. Once they start going for the hiding demo man plays in the bush. I think
and there's actually a pyro holding back this push pretty well here. It slows them down a lot, and the picks are even now. Now they're
but nobody's watching the point. Captain's already on top of it, and he's already laying down a huge amount of damage. Denia finally gets on there, but they had to throw so many players against him to get on top of that. And now it's 4-0, and it looks like it will be 5-0 at this rate before even 20 minutes pass.
It's like the betting side knows. But we'll see. I still believe in Infused. Come on. Like, usually Infused does better on the second map. Looks like that's not the case this time around. But we'll see. If they can just get Kaidus super fast, they'll be fine. But Kaidus plays super passively already. And actually, nerdRage, like, they're so passive right now. They haven't made a move yet. And now there's a soldier in the skybox trying to draw some attention. But he gets taken down. And, yeah, that didn't work at all.
Wow. That was, yeah, like you said, Peter, they were just so passive. It's almost a mirror match of what Infused did on the last middle. But they ended up doing their mistakes instead over on nerdRage. Stark is going to get picked off probably in this low. Oh, actually, SteveyJJ just misses the rocket, but it's okay. His buddy Adinsky's there going to clean up Stark, and they're already rocking out those classes to deal with this last push.
Botnose is in the water. He's going to find a soldier there.
Oh, well, the soldier's going to find him.
Yeah. That's a Roma duel where one of the Romos didn't die. That's very unusual. What's going on? Even Ubers, by the way.
That was just a prediction rocket coming out from Drak there. I think he sniffed Butnose hiding from that water area there. Probably got called out by one of his scout buddies, so he's just going to go down. He's probably... Oh, I was kind of hoping he would come back as an off-class, but they do have a slight advantage, so I guess they want to go with that first, give that a good try before they stop.
You can't give up on Spy at this point, right? You just had a semi-successful Spy play where you got like a whole kill.
Oh, SteveyJJ is in though, he's trying to get the bomb.
Oh, that's crits. I missed this, really, D-ski is missing every single crit rocket, crit sticky that is, and a D-ski will eventually go down, so very much a failed crits.
It does make a lot of sense to why SteveyJJ jumped in. He was just jumping into the strat, and then that would allow Dinsky to kind of follow up. But didn't quite yield the result they were expecting. They probably even checked for that crits over on a spy or something like that, but nonetheless, it didn't work in the end. They're going to get the second point for free, and they've also got a 100% Uber advantage that will probably lead into a middle point as well. But let's see if they've got Infused have got something up their sleeve.
Oh, they're going to go drop down here, so hoping to catch them off guard here. That's not really going to work. They're holding very far back. Infused. There's actually one soldier sort of behind. That's Butnose. So now he's actually on the nibble trying to get Promzilla, but doesn't get him.
It's the second crits. He gets dragged, but they just decide to Uber instead, and kaidus enter in the fight. Promzilla actually gets the saw onto Adinsky, further prolonging this Uber over on Promzilla as well. They're going to get this midpoint, but they'll probably even get the second point now because they just killed so many players. But
and Skeej is still on crits, and he's actually at a disadvantage on crits, it looks like. So this is a very bad position for them to be stuck in. You're stuck on last with crits. You don't really want to be on last with the crits. We saw Lego make it work last map, but that was because they caught the Planet Express off guard, and they know that Skeej has crits. So that's definitely not going to surprise them at all. And he has actually a disadvantage. I don't know if nerdRage realizes this, probably not, but they will probably just push either way because they know they have Uber against the crits.
Yeah, look how far back nerdRage are playing just to really make sure they don't get hit by any of these surprise crits. You've already got kaidus kind of planting sticky bombs all over these doors, not even allowing an inch of room for them to get back in. They've got the Uber now, so...
Diski is actually in Riverside, and he actually has eyes on Promzilla. Promzilla is in Riverside as well, so surprised Crit Sticky could catch them. I'm kind of surprised they haven't popped the crits yet. Like, they're in a really good position to do it. Like, if they want to do it, they have to now. Okay, Uber has been popped from Promzilla. Crits hasn't been popped yet, so now they pop it a little bit early, but it will be able to do some work if nerdRage extends into it. There's actually one sort of in secret there. That's Captain. Gets taken down by Adiski. So the defensive crits there actually works out just fine because they managed to pop Promzilla. They're still stuck in the same position, though, where it's sort of even Ubers. The crits advantage is very, very small. And they're still stuck on crits. Maybe Skeej should have just like switched to Uber after that crits was gone.
Yeah, both of these teams just don't really want to dedicate themselves. Somebody has to just throw themselves in and kind of commit if they really want to see like any sort of results, especially when it comes to this last point. Because if they just pussy out from this crits, it's still going to be there built up again quicker than your Uber is. So. Again, we're back to square one. They're just going to try it again. But you actually see Infused already just playing off the ground that they give him from this crits. They actually decided to pop off the crits, but they couldn't find anybody, and they've already backed out. They've rotated all the way around to Big Door. kaidus is already setting up stickies, and they've pushed out with the Uber or Choke. They've got the kill
once again hiding behind.
The cycle has been broken. The prophecy has been filled, and SteveyJJ will go down. Adinsky does get a kill onto Promzilla, but hey, he's done his job. He's got the Uber out. They're already capping second, and they're trying to get onto the point now. kaidus
is spawn camping, and they're already calling GG. That's half cool. So be him. There we go. And
wow.
5-0 for nerdRage. Very sort of straightforward game, just a complete roll. It wasn't close at all. So well played by nerdRage.
Alright, well, before we get into these logs, I'm just going to put a quick probe out there. All the people over on nerdRage or Infused, if you're fiending in the chat right now, come join us for interviews. But in the meantime, let's look at some logs, Peter.
Sure. And surprisingly enough, the top damager in this match, by quite a lot, is actually SteveyJJ, who was on the losing team. He goes 5 for 11. But he has the most damage, so that's kind of impressive. Usually when your team gets rolled, everybody just has shit stats. But he actually has pretty good stats.
Yeah, but it's also 5 members of nerdRage kind of foaming at the mouth, trying to take damage from each other, while SteveyJJ is the only one who gets a brief flicker of damage in, probably down to these Ubers.
Yeah, look at the scout stats on Infused. Both Danny and Hank have 5 kills combined and 21 deaths, so
it's not
really bad. Actually, damage per minute on Hank is 85. That's the lowest I think I've ever seen. That is unreal. What?
I guess you know, if you're losing the game, man, you're losing the game. If you just keep dying, you're not given a chance, a moment. I mean, every time there was not really any scrappy fights at all. It just came down to a team winning middle and going to last. There will be a little faff about how they would plan to hold this last or push this last, and then a round would be taken or lost. That was it.
Yeah, look at and Happy Cool once again, 18 kills, 1 death. So
Efficient.
Efficient as hell.
28 kill assist death ratio. Oh, beautiful.
Oh man.
I don't think there's much more I can really drag out of these stats. So when I get really desperate, I look at the airshot stat meter. So the one that's actually topping out everybody on the server is Big Kado with the 2 airshots.
2 airshots.
Woo!
Sick. But yeah, like these locks are so meaningless, right? I think the thing I would take away from this was that Infused, they played around the crit streak really, really well. Right, like the crit streak, nothing, and Nadiski I think he has shown that he can do crits pretty well. So, like, I think that just goes to show how good of a team nerdRage is, right? That they can do that. So, yeah. I guess we have some interviews. It's going to be a pretty boring interview too, but we have them. We have it for you. So we are now joined by kaidus, who is muted. I don't know.
Hey.
There we go. Welcome and congratulations on your very secure win there.
Thank you.
Well,
did you expect it to be so easy?
You think that was easy?
Well, okay. I suppose Granary was pretty good.
I was sweating on Granary, man. Like, we were completely off our game tonight, like the whole night. A lot of people were like, you know, the same old excuses, like tired and things like that. But for whatever reason, we were like super off our game. I think if they'd had their proper roster, it would have been super close, actually, with the way we played tonight.
Yeah, alright.
It's unlucky for them, really, that they had these problems. Like, we wanted to reschedule, but we weren't available to play any other day.
Yeah, that's sort of unfortunate, I suppose. What changed from Gollywash to Granary? Are you just bad at Granary, or really good at Golly, or did you just sort of warm up?
I think it's kind of like two things. I think on the one hand, like, we weren't winning mids so much on Granary, and if you lose mids on Granary, it can be kind of like a painful task to take back the map, because it's also choky and stuff like that. So we always were kind of, that slowed everything down quite a lot. But also I think their belief kind of faded on Gully. They just kind of rolled over and lost on Gollywash, whereas I think with the way Granary started, it probably gave them some belief, you know. But then obviously the game got away from them a bit, and you know, you kind of have that hype, like the, you know, we can do this factor, then you kind of let it trickle away, and the next map you just kind of can't motivate yourself to get to the same level. I think it's probably a bit of those two. But I mean, we're probably definitely better on Gully, but not as much as this match would make you believe.
Alright, sure. That makes sense. I don't know, so this should put you at the top of the board. It looks like it's going to come down between you and Full Tilt, as most people expect. I think Full Tilt is technically number 1 with the same amount of points as you right now. So it's all going to come down to like the big match between you and Full Tilt. How do you expect that match to go?
Yeah, I think it should be a super close game. They're playing... Well, we played them tonight and they wrecked us. Like I said, we were off our game, but they're definitely playing well lately. Alright, yeah, I expect it to be super close. I mean, it won't matter too much, I suppose, that match, because I would expect both of us to make the final in the end, but yeah, I think it should be a super close game. Like, I think neither of us are particularly strong on Viaduct historically, so that will be a bit of a random one, probably. And yeah, Badlands, everyone knows Badlands, so it should be super close, like I say.
Alright, and that will actually be that will actually be the last game of the season, so that should be super hype. But we are now joined by Skeej off of the losing team tonight, Infused. So, Skeej, you put up a very good fight on Granary.
Yeah. Didn't even expect to be honest.
Yeah, you had some roster issues tonight. What happened?
Tiger net problems and Quick. I don't know, he was very ill for the last few days. Like same when we played our last official against DD5F, which yeah, I think also played a role in us getting a worse result than expected there. And I don't know what happened, but somehow he thought that we were not playing. Like, he was completely out of the loop. He could have been in the loop because we have like a schedule online, but he, like, at 9 o'clock he said like, "Oh, we have an official tonight," and it's like, "Oh, I'm not home." Okay. So yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. I actually noticed you had a bunch of weird tactics on Granary. First of all, we saw you building Uber with the arrows on last, and actually managed to outbuild a crit streak.
Yeah.
Is that something you've practiced a lot?
Well, I wanted to try it for our last official against D5F because the maps were Granary and Process, and both those lasts are like huge. And on both lasts you can have fairly comfortable positions where you have two people building.
Yeah.
So I tested it, and we could get Uber in 23 seconds, and the opportunity is so low because if the enemy somehow decides to push in or spam, you have two low guys, you're gonna get completely fucked. So it's so fucking risky to do it. But yeah, we went into this game not expected to win, obviously, and because this game got scheduled to Tuesday in the week, we decided to not practice for it at all. Like we never played Gullywash at all because we actually liked to play this, that the official was early in the week, so we could practice more for our next game, which we have definite chance of winning. So yeah, with that in mind and getting 2 marks, we decided to try out some gimmicks that we tried in scrims.
Did you guys know we had crits when you did that?
No, we were ready to already push out. We were pushing from top, and that's why you guys were in a worse position for us to do damage, because you just went under us basically. Yeah. And we expected you to be around the point, and we expect to wreck you guys there.
If you knew we had crits and did that, that would have been sick play.
Even better, yeah. And I thought you guys were getting really pressured on the right door still, so I dropped down behind you guys. I was gonna get a medic 4-man, but
I remember someone hearing medics flanking, and I just didn't know how to react to this call. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was retarded. so yeah. But we had fun.
Yeah, alright. And did everything just sort of go to shit on Gullywash, or why were you not able to make Gullywash close when Granary was close?
Well, we had strats on Granary, so we had mids that I quickly explained to Buttnose and SteveyJJ. Our players knew what to do. Like, this was literally, I guess the second time that we played Gullywash, because we just played Gullywash in our warm-up game once. So,
right, okay.
Yeah, and people weren't really in their roles, with 2 mercs, it's just expected.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how much that sort of shows. Just the lack of tactics, or just having them on Granary. Like, you can really tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I don't know, I kind of gave up at the end of Granary. It was less fun at the end of Gullywash, I mean. It was less fun than the rest of the game. But overall, it was really good.
Alright, so I assume now you're going to practice Gullywash coming into your game against Public Clear.
Yeah. And, what's it? Viaduct.
Viaduct, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have some strats already lying. Just need to talk about it with the team, and gonna have to see what we do on Viaduct. I don't feel myself as a confident caller on Viaduct at all.
Is that a difficult map to call on, do you think? Or is it because it's just so sort of chaotic?
Yeah, it's completely different. So I'm out of my element compared to 5CP. And you have to really count on the strengths of your team, like to off-class at the right moments, and you cannot just play the Ubers, like the watching the timer. It's all different basically, and I just don't feel as confident on it. But I will try my best.
There's like a Kankazoid joke here somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's
exactly.
Yeah.
I
didn't even think of that myself.
I just want to quickly ask, going back to that arrow healing, I guess, building Uber, kaidus, when you met up against that Uber, like, what was the general reaction to it in the Mumble? Was anybody like, did you guys thought that you counted Ubers wrong, or did you expect, have you seen this strat before, or?
Well, it didn't occur to us that that's what they did. I mean, as always, I just had the natural instinct to blame Hafiko in some way. I just assumed Haffy didn't build properly or something, No, I don't know. I just kind of said, what the fuck, they have Uber? And then just bailed out. Yeah, I don't know, I just kind of figured we dawdled too long and they built super hard, because it can be sometimes, misleading when you build crits and then you try and push. Like if the other team builds really hard, you're not really used to how little time you actually have to go. So I just kind of assumed that I didn't really pay attention to how long we waited and how much time we wasted. But
yeah, in the end, it's only 8 seconds advantage compared to Uber. So if you're a bit slow, I just kind of assumed that was what it was. But even then, I was still kind of surprised because it didn't feel like we wasted that long. And I guess now it all makes sense, and it was a sick play.
Just one last question from me. So you've kind of played most of these teams now in officials. You've obviously played against probably all the teams in PCWs. Is there any teams that you're scared of meeting in like a playoff situation? Say like if one team managed to beat Full Tilt, which one of these other 6 teams would you not like to face?
Was that for me? Sorry.
Yeah, that was for you.
I was listening. I didn't hear the name at the start. I'm just trying to think. I think probably Lego. I feel like they always have such huge upset potential. I'd still be confident, but I think of all the teams I can think of, Lego is always like even when they go through a period of not playing well, I kind of know like with Josh calling and like kind of demo shenanigans, you always kind of know they can do a lot. So I'd probably say Lego.
You're really more wary of Lego than Full Tilt?
Well, that's just if say Lego beat Full Tilt and they were playing them in the final.
Yeah, that's what I thought the question was. Like,
that's right.
Okay.
How about you, Skeej? Is there if you manage to get that playoff spot and somebody else gets that playoff spot as well, who would you not want to face in that playoff?
Wait.
So this is
why would I not say reason?
So like under the assumption that
you mean
Full
number 3 and number 4?
Tilt and nerdRage get their first spots.
Yeah.
So who would you not want to face in this playoff?
DD5F.
Why?
I don't know. These guys come out with sudden retarded plays, and then they slow down the game completely, like worse than old Lego even. And then DD5F comes in with the fucking Market Gardener. It just fucks us up completely. I hate playing against them.
And
all the while, Adiski is basically raging in Mumble about how bad KQ is and just walking forward with stickies, and then I'm like, yeah, just put a sticky in front of his feet then, if it's so easy. So that's what happens when we play that team.
Alright, I think I'm more questioned out, Beta. I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, let's throw it to some last words or shoutouts or whatever you have to say. So let's start with you, kaidus.
Shout out to Infused for playing tonight, even though they had difficult circumstances, and shout out to Raptor for working for us over the last few days. Not that bad.
Skeej?
Yeah, shout out to Raptor too, man. He was being done a disservice. It was good for him to. He should find another team. Shout out to Jeroen, and shout out to Tiger and Quick. Miss you guys. And obviously, shout out to everybody involved in casting TF2 and covering TF2 and shit. Awesome job.
Well, I've just noticed that SteveyJJ was in here, and which is kind of bad because I'm the one who dragged him in here, but I completely forgot because I was doing something.
It's easy to forget. Don't worry. Honestly, this has been a fantastic interview. Thanks.
Absolute egg on my face. Well. Any shout out to SteveyJJ?
Just thanks for letting me play. It was good fun, good experience. I enjoyed it. Good night.
Oh, Beta, bail me out with some shout out.
I had a sick shout out, but now I forgot about it.
Oh,
is that a good excuse?
I just ruined everything.
Yeah. Please upload your demos, or please approve the demos. Whoever does that on the ETF2L. I don't know how it works, but yeah, do that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for casting me, TurboTabs. Thank you to Infused for actually playing. Make sure to tune in tomorrow where we have a ton of games and no casters. Gonna be great. So that should be interesting. Hopefully we can get some casts going. But otherwise, yeah, just tune in tomorrow.